That's what
Oh,
Thinkific is.
I'm not familiar with that country, but it could be.
It's my family.
Oh, okay. All right. EU Smith, welcome to the show. I have a feeling that you may not know how I do this, but it's fine. We're going to learn as we go. So, EU Smith, you're on the show. I see that you have a lot of support and a lot of people care for you, but this is about conversations of who people are both on and off the platform. Now, for
Okay.
you, when it comes to the things that you're passionate about, what do you find yourself spending the most time doing when you're not streaming, when you're not working?
Well, helping people, whether I'm on the app or off the app. That's what I'm passionate about. Like,
Okay.
even with my friends, my family, I help people. I'm a
So,
mental health therapist off the app, so that's just who I am.
sure. So, someone calls you up and they're like, hey, I need $10. You're like, I'm a helpful person. I got you.
Well, if they
You
call me
have
up for
to answer
$10, let me
that.
tell you, I'm gonna
Yeah,
teach them how to go fish, so
yeah.
they won't have to call me no more. I'm gonna tell them how
Oh,
to go get it
go get it.
instead of
Okay.
just giving it to them.
10 on the 10. Okay, she's got 10 on it, guys. All right, make sure you're hitting the favor button on E Smith. She is our first guest this evening. And I do know this because I filled out a special form that you provided. You do some consultation style work, and it's in a specialized field. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that field is?
Yes, I'm a mental health therapist, right? So I do assessments. I talk to people who have issues with depression, anxiety, post traumatic stress disorder,
Sure.
ADHD, family
That's
relationships, or even relationships with your man
okay. So the
or woman.
all around deal of what people
Yeah.
may need for their mental health. What is the certification process for something like that?
So I went to school. I did a dual bachelor, so I have a bachelor's in dance and social work. Then I went back and got a master's in educational psychology as well as counselor ed. So it took me about
Oh,
7 years, and then I had to do like 2 years, 3,000 hours of like a practicum, like so where I had a job of like case management, helping people with their mental illness, just helping them, teaching them skills.
it seems like a far leap to go from dance to mental health professional. How did you make that transition, and what happened with dancing?
Okay, so let me tell you about it. So I've always been a dancer. I've always liked dance, right? So if
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna pay for it myself, I'm gonna do something that I like, right? Because I started off as an English major, liberal arts, right? I wanted to be an English teacher, and I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling it. So then I was like, I'm really a dancer. I have a dancer. I've
Are you
been
like
was trained.
when you say dancer, you're talking ballet, you're talking
I'm
like
talking ballet. I'm talking jazz. I'm talking modern. I'm, t- I'm talking liturgical. Like I'm talking all dance,
what's
right? So I am a
what is liturgic
choreographer
what
as
is
well.
liturgic dance?
That's like a praise dance. That's like dance you do at church.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen a church where they get down like that.
You've never went to a church where they praise dance?
I, is that like where you put your hands up and you're like,
Yeah, you're just like,
okay, and you choreograph that?
yes.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay. By the way, while we're doing this thing, make sure you're hitting the favor button on Eve Smith. She's a dancing mental health professional who's got a passion for helping people. Who knows? They say that dancing is a great way to really, exercise in general is a great way to release endorphins and change your mood up. Do you ever in your counseling suggest people just bust a move?
Well, so that would be movement therapy, right? So I do yeah, it's movement
That's
therapy.
the
So
thing.
I do have people like we'll do yoga, we'll do exercise called progressive muscle relaxation. And with that, you have to stand up and tense and release the muscles to relax. So I do use that for anxiety.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so creative. You approach it from many different angles.
That
and
is
some of
correct.
them involve getting up and moving, which is pretty cool. I think that's really cool. So, because this is a featured show and due to liability things like that, we don't get into mental health advice. We don't get into that best practice stuff. But for someone, I think this is a bit of a fun territory, who wants to include dance. What are some of the things that, whether it's for their mental health or just for fun, how would you suggest that they break into dance or approach dance?
So there's a lot of people like right now with the TikTok dancing and the little just the different stuff. It's easy to really do by just going on YouTube or doing those things, going on TikTok and learning moves, right? For
Yeah.
me, I've always loved dance and I took it like in high school and in college, and it was an extracurricular activity that I was involved in.
Yeah,
And hey,
and you
hip
made
hop,
it.
everybody does it today.
Have you ever seen, like, I think it happened the early nine or late '90s or like early 2000s? There's this dance instructor woman, and she's like, and that's hip hop, and she like keeps her chair turned around. It's like one of my favorite videos. If you haven't seen it, she's just got this bag of clothes, and she's like, and that's hip hop.
No,
All
haven't.
right.
Just
I'm
her
gonna,
having. So hip hop is a state of, let me say this. Hip hop is a state of mind, but like you can draw with the baggy clothes on how you feel, how you move, you know what I'm saying? What you wear. You don't even have to know how to bust a move and can dress hip hop, right?
Whoa. Okay, wait. So are you saying I could be hip hop?
You could be like, we would have to do some things. I would have to, because your clothes are kind of, tight, so we would have to loosen
The
some things
tight,
up and
like
change,
cool,
like
or
maybe
like they
put you
don't
on
fit
a
me?
b-boy hat, twist it around like that, put you on some jeans, you know what I'm saying? Put you on a shirt, sweatshirt, cut some things up, and hey, you got to
I
look there.
I think people may roll over if they saw that. They would just, yeah, I don't
I
think that was
tried
gonna.
when I was explaining, I tried to picture it, with the hat turned like that, with some Tim's on, with the baggy jeans, and I was like, nah,
I would look
nah.
like Kip at the end of Napoleon Dynamite. Like,
I'm like, I'm not selling this look.
I really hope someone knows that reference. Anyway, Eve Smith's in the building. She's in the box. Don't forget, we have two other guests still this evening. We got DJ Bossy Boss and Ace Marsh still up. This is Suit Up, your weekly interview and talk style show. Eve Smith, you spend a lot of time helping others, but when it comes to something for yourself, something that you enjoy, we already talked about dance. Is there anything else that you're passionate about, or maybe hidden skill, talent that your viewers may not know about?
So I like to really be with my friends. Like, I'm kind of a clown. I'm kind of funny what I want to be with, right? So
Yeah.
so I like to be with my friends, just partying with my friends, laughing, and that just makes me feel good. I also like to play cards, dominoes, pool. I like to do all that, but I just like to really my outlet. It's very important for me to be with friends and get the week's work off of me and let give it away somewhere else, and that's on the dance floor or wherever. But I like to be with my friends.
I love that. I
They
love
make
it.
me laugh.
Would you say, is this a fair statement that you are a glass half full type person? You look at the positive side or optimistic side of things?
Yes, definitely, and that's why my friends. So, like I said, I am a therapist, right? So whenever something, I've been that, right? Even as growing up, I'm always giving people advice. I'm an encourager. I'm very like positive, right? If
Okay.
you're being negative, I'm going to turn that thing around and help you to see it a different way. That's what I do.
It's a powerful thing. You are the company you keep, and I think you attract what you put out. And so, if you're a
Mhm.
negative person, your influence of negativity may bring down the mood or outlook or perception of the people around you. So, I stand by what you're saying there.
Yes. I
Good.
think with you can either think of things in a way that's going to relax you or stress you. Me and my friends, I teach them think of it the latter, the way that's going to relax you.
Sure. Wait, what? The ladder?
Well, because I thought,
Oh, the ladder. I was thinking like a
like
ladder, like you climb. I was like, wait,
not
is
the
this a
ladder.
new?
I know I'm
Uh,
country. Hey, I know I'm country a little bit, but you get what I'm saying,
Are you
right?
country?
I'm kind of country. I'm from Texas. I'm kind of
From
country.
Texas.
I'm from
Oh, so
Texas.
with the dance, do you do like the electric slide and the boots?
I do. Those lines, I do do
I
those.
like it. We had to learn how to slap leather in gym class. It was called slapping leather. We had to learn the electric slide, slapping leather, and like it was was it the H step or something like that? It was the box step, something like that. Yeah. It was on VHS.
Oh, okay.
I'm an old
You
guy.
know, we have time, Chris, if you want to show us that.
You may have time. I don't. Yeah. I got a schedule. No, maybe at some point it'll be fun. We could like have you. We got to get you paired up. We have a dance show. KDB hosts a dance show. Maybe we get you two paired up. You could do like a collaborative dance off thing. That'd be pretty cool.
Sounds fun.
All right, all right. So as I'm keeping an eye on the time. Number one, make sure you're hitting the favorite button on EU Smith. She took some time out of her day to share all of her passions, things like that. So please hit that favorite button. Before we go, is there anything that you would like to share, highlight, promote while we have the time with you?
Okay. Thank you for asking that because I do. So I have these shirts, right, that I sell on the app. I sold them. I dropped them at Live Fest this past year in Arizona. And it just
Mhm.
has dragons, carpets, jets, castle wheels, and cars. And they're really fun shirts. They come in all colors. You can get them customized. All you have to do is hit me in my DM and you can get a shirt.
Off platform. Hit her in the DM off of the app.
Well, you know, Instagram,
No,
you
I'm off app.
off that,
Please message her off app if you want to
off the
do
app,
that. Yes, please do. And if you didn't hear that, you did now. Okay. So there you go.
off app, please.
Tell us about the inspiration though. Are you an entrepreneur? Why do you want to make
I,
shirts?
I am an entrepreneur. I thought it would be something fun. I looked for something to do on the app, and I was just inspired. Like I'm like all these gifts, right? Even when you have the board where you go in people's streams and they have these gifts that they want you to, you know. So I was like, what if we had a T-shirt, you know? Because then even if you're in a battle, you'd be like, dragon,
Sure. Yeah.
carpet, well, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
creative.
And then you know, with I have my own practice for anybody. So my therapy service is my therapy service. I don't work at an agency. So yeah, I am an
So
entrepreneur.
you're a full-on entrepreneur. That takes
Yes.
some guts. That takes some guts. Do you ever feel like it's a risk, or are you so confident in your abilities of that there's no other choice?
Uh, Not in what I do, not in the therapy service because it's needed, right? So when I first started, I was like, ooh, because I went from being a clinical manager of 5 clinics to working on my own. And so that gave me the confidence because I'm like, if these people trust me to be a clinical manager over 5 clinics, then I can do this on my own,
Yeah,
right? So then I started working and started my own company.
you did it. Wow. Well, an
Right. So
inspiration.
I feel really good about that. I don't, I just feel really good about it. So I don't get insecure or feel like I can't do it.
Oh, I wouldn't mean to imply that you should feel that way,
I don't
but
think you did. I'm just
as
saying.
okay, okay, well, you know, just a second. Okay, hit the favorite button on EU Smith. She's there in the box. We've had a great time talking. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for
The
having me.
attire looks great. We love the attire as well. You suited up. You look great. So I appreciate that as well. Um,
I had to match your fly.
I appreciate that. It's even on the form. It says, "Do you agree to wear formal attire?" And you did. And you did it. I appreciate that. So cheers, cheers, cheers. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. So please, again, make sure you're hitting the favorite button on EU Smith or U Smith. She's not from Europe, though, or the Europe. Is it the Europe? Could be. My name's Chris. It's so great to be here with you on this fine Wednesday night. This is a show that happens every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can get to know some of your favorite streamers, even if you haven't met them yet. Coming up next, we have DJ Bossy Boss if you'd be so kind to please request the box. I'd also like to say thank you to the top 10 gifters so far this evening. Coming in 10th place is Namaste. Ninth place, Ian Steven. It's good to see you again, man. Ninth place, Nikki Nix, who just got her top badge. I better see you Friday. I can't see the comments right now, but you gotta get in the box. Gotta do the thing. I did the pun. Did you even hear the pun? I write those for you. Eighth place, Vinny. Seventh place, Bays Lil. All right. Sixth place, Tee It Up. Fifth place. Wow. The whole board just changed. Sixth place, The Girl. Fifth place, Jen Ladiva. Fourth place, EU Smith. Third place, Alpha. Second place, Tee It Up. And in first place, Flossie's Good Vibe. Thank you so much for all your generosity and all the great things that you do. Coming to the box now is our second guest this evening. He is a man of many talents, and he has been on the show once before, a very long time ago. Please welcome back the return of the one, the only, Mr. DJ Bossy. Bossy, good to see you, my friend.
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, man?
Dude, cheers. It's been how long? Like 3 years? 2 years?
2.5 years.
All right, so I was kind of right. That's not too long though. That's like 5 lifetimes in terms of streamer years.
Yeah, probably like 20 years if you take time off.
Yeah, yeah, basically. It's so yeah, it's gonna be good to catch up. We have a lot of things to get into. First, your DJ. That's something that is a bit obvious because it's in the name. The first time we talked, you had just kinda-ish gotten into DJing. Where are you at with it now?
So it's been a rise up from here and out. Ever since I started on the app 2.5 years ago, being a DJ, I was still learning. So I wasn't really fully getting incorporated with like mixing and mashing and stuff like that. Different beats and genres of music. Now I've elevated myself. That I kept practicing to go all the way, and I've been DJing Millie parties. I've been DJing top badge parties, DJing for people for their battles. It's just been a rise from here on out, and I thank everybody who's in the live right now. And I thank you, Chris, for really pushing me to really achieve my goals.
For sure.
Awesome.
We love to see people who are consistent and positive influences stick around. I mean, that's all you can hope for in the community. In your time as a DJ, have you done a high school dance or a wedding, anything like that?
So I did a Sweet 16. Being a bartender at a restaurant. I told people that I DJ, so they said, "Oh, we would love to the DJ. We have a Sweet 16. We know what type of music do you like?" I said, "Look, I'll meet up with you. I'll talk what type of music your daughter will like." And I went through a playlist, and it was just it was a blast from there and out. It was all fun.
Yeah.
It was probably one of those things that I won't forget.
Were you nervous at all?
Yeah, I kind of was, being more nervous, because here, I'm in front of all you guys. I see all you guys, in there, but when it's a crowd of people out in front of you, you're more nervous.
Right.
It hits you, it hits you different.
It does. I'm not sure how many people know this. I owned a DJ business from 2015 through 2020, 2021, somewhere in there, like full LLC. So I've done hundreds of weddings and birthdays and high school dances, things like that. High school dances are worse than weddings. I can just tell you that straight up, flat out. High school dances are far worse, and it's because they are brutal. Kids, they're brutal. So I mean, doing a Sweet 16 though, I mean, those are like high school kids. So were they kind? Did they treat you right?
They were kind. They were nice. They asked if they could DJ a song. I just told them, just don't break my equipment, don't drop my laptop, and don't turn the volume up too high.
Yeah. See, I could not do that because it was a school dance. There's certain things that cannot be played. They wanted me to play this song called Mobamba, and it was before it went. It was like at the very beginning. It had not gone viral yet, and I tested it out on my headphones. I was like, there is zero shot I am playing this song. And to this day, I will never forget that track because of it. But it's hilarious. All right, so a couple more questions about your DJing. And by the way, this is Suited Up. It's a weekly interview and talk style show. I'm Chris. In the box right now, we're joined by DJ Bossy. He's our second guest, so please hit the favorite button on him. We're talking about his DJing and life on and off the platform. Where do you want to go with your DJing? Is it something you want to keep on here? Are you looking to produce music? Have you produced music? Anything like that?
It's something I've been practicing. So I haven't really produced anything yet, or anything like that of some sort. I'm still in the worst of learning of how to, use some of the programs I have on here. So once I get used to that, it's definitely something I'm definitely going to start doing. My next step on here, is become a next top badge DJ. I see a lot of people in the comments DJ bars for top edge. So we're going all the way, man.
I love it.
That's my next. That's my first step. Is that
And you've done it regardless. I think that's the important thing to point out is the path to a top badge and getting a top badge. The badge is a consequence of the love of streaming and the love of being part of the community. You don't get the top badge because that's what you enjoy is being a top badge. It doesn't work like that, even though it may seem obvious said like that. And you're a testament to it because you've just been so consistent. So thank you for that.
No, thank you. No, it you know what? I will say this though to everybody around here, I'm not gonna say that I did it. I'm gonna say we as a community,
Sure.
we all did it on here, I remember I wanted to give up, but then someone called me and said, Bossy, don't give up, man. He's like, you will get it, trust me. And ever since then, I've been streaming nonstop ever since, and I've been just putting the work and the hours and the time, and showing love back to community is everything that I do, and I will tell everybody that I'm probably the most loyal, generous person, on here because I will just do anything for anybody.
For sure. And you fit this all in while working a job. You said you work at a restaurant. I did that life for a long time too. Are you when you say service industry? Are you like a bartender? Is that what you do?
I'm a bartender. I get people drunk.
You give them. You don't. Whatever.
Anyway, I give a little bit.
You're the good time supplier.
I'm the good time supplier.
You're the good time supplier, and probably responsible for some people calling their exes or something like that. Is that something that happens? I wouldn't know anything about that.
But some of the stories that do come out, I had a guy that came in. He's like, I want a couple martinis. I'm like, okay, I'm like, sure, why not? The stories that came out of this guy's mouth, I know we're featured, but he said, you know what? I woke up this morning in a bathtub. I'm like, I hope you enjoy your sleep.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
he wants to wake up. He might be waking up in a bathtub. Is he alive? Hey, welcome to it. This is Suited Up. It's a weekly interview and talk style show where every week we make sure that our guests make it until the end of the show. Safe and sound in one piece. First up, we had the lovely E.U. Smith. Next up, we have DJ Bossy, who's currently sort of in the box. He'll be back. And then last up, we have Ace Marsh, who, if I were to put the two words together, I imagine a fighter pilot over the Florida Everglades. That's obviously, I think, what his name means. Anyway, we're going to bring DJ Bossy back to the box to make sure that he's okay and that that was not a fatality. All right, back to the box. DJ Bossy.
I'm sorry.
Okay. We're happy you're fine. All right. So you DJ, you're grinding, you're doing that thing. What is it that you enjoy? Whether it's a hidden secret or guilty pleasure, you like to listen to NSYNC or maybe go to Chuck E. Cheese to beat the arcade scores. Do you have a hobby, something that people don't get to know about you while you're on the platform?
Yes. So one of the things that a lot of people know me is that I'm an actor and I've been on TV 4 times in featured TV shows. One is on Amazon Fire TV TV show called Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh,
The remix,
wow.
yep, the remix with Donald Glover and Maya Erskine. I had a featured background role in that. I was a police officer in a TV series. Um, I did a music video with a hip hop artist, and I also just did a food on HBO called "The Food That Built America." And
That's really cool.
yeah, and also I used to collect Dragon Ball Z cards.
Hold up. All right, chill. Hold on. We're gonna talk about that in a sec because you can't just say something like that and not expect me to go in. Okay. All
Chris, now
right.
hold on a second, man. Now look, see, I have one package left. I have
Hang
one
on. Just
solid
show me
roll.
that because I think you collect score arrow, which is what I collect.
Okay, sure.
You can just hold it towards the screen and I'll know.
Well, here, hold on a second. I want to show you 3 of my special cards. These are the best ones I have.
Don't take them out. You're gonna trigger me. Like I will have a
Okay.
conniption.
Here's one
Are
right
they
here.
sleeve? Oh, bossy, sleeve them.
Well, I took them out of the sleeve to show you.
No!
All right, put it
Put
back in the
them
sleeve.
back.
All
I
right,
don't want
hold
to
on a
see
second.
it. Put them back in the sleeve.
Okay, putting it back in the sleeve. Okay, hold on a second. I'm putting it back in the sleeve. Oh, see, this is gonna take me forever. Oh man, hold on, man, guys. This is intermission break.
We're just now
Uh,
joining Suited Up. We're officially falling apart. There is no hope for DJ Bossy. He has broken my heart. It's
no,
a show that
that's
happens every
okay.
Wednesday at 9
Here we
p.m.
go, right here.
All right. Those are sick. Those are called high-tech cards, and they're from the Score era. Those are Cell Saga high-tech cards. You have, well, the one to the left is Nappa, so that's going to be Saiyan Saga. But yeah, those are high-tech cards. They come from the starters. That's pretty sick, dude. How'd you get those?
So I got these actually when Dragon Ball Z cards actually first came out.
Yeah.
Is actually when I got them, and I've kept these 3 because these are the 3 best ones. And you know what? Since they're my least favorite ones, I know you're the biggest Dragon Ball Z card and Pokemon card collector and stuff like that. So
Been around the block.
they deserve a better home, man. So maybe when I'm live fest, man, maybe I'll bring
No.
them. I'll give them to you.
No, you can't do that. It's actually against the rules. But I appreciate it, and I want you to enjoy it because the hobby is only good as the community that supports it and loves it. And so I've only met a couple people who've gotten into those. I have some. Maybe we can do I can show you some in the after show. But are you a collector? Do you like to collect things outside of Dragon Ball Z?
I don't really like to collect anything. Like I was a big Magic the Gathering, but I sold my whole collection and stuff like that,
Oh.
sadly. So that went bye-bye. And the only thing I have left is just 2 sleeves of Dragon Ball Z cards. That's about it.
Well, I can say that many people try to quit, but I don't think that it's permanent. Getting rid of your cards is never permanent. Never permanent. Okay, collecting aside, because I will harp and not stop talking about that. We got to go back to your acting. You said you've had a couple roles. Why acting? How did this fold into your passions? And is it something that you want to take all the way? Are you trying to take DJing all the way? Give us the priorities.
So the first thing and foremost, I really want to take seriously, is streaming on the app, because I love my friends and I love the app. I love the community. And you know, it's just been just a road, and the journey on here has just been a 2.5 year grind, to,
Mhm.
you know, be the best I can be ever, on the app and off the app and stuff like that. And it's just something that just wanted to do. My acting and my DJing career, I do once I get better at it and hopefully learn from somebody who's really, really, really good. It's just
At acting or DJ?
at both. Yeah, it's that's definitely something I really want to do. It's just excel this. But first and foremost, like I just love the app. This is where like I meet people. I love my friends. I love my family on here. I see all my family's in here spamming my name in here. You know, this, you can't get any better than this.
All right, I've got an idea for you before we wrap up. I have an idea. What if you did the first ever live community edition of Hamlet as an electronic dance musical? You could act in it, bring in your DJing, and do it on the live community. You could put all your passions together and you could do a live community. I'm messing with you. Please. Well, no, if you actually do that, I will sit through it. I will sit through it, or I'll at least tell you that I sat through it and watched it, allegedly. That could be pretty cool.
Chris, you know what? I will take up on your offer and I accept your challenge.
If you can get together the people to memorize the script, I will be so impressed. I will actually watch it. If you can put that if you can get the people together to do an edition of Hamlet, I will be so impressed.
All right, everybody message me in my DMs. We're going to do this. A live fest, okay?
I will be so impressed. All right. Bossy, any last things you'd like to say before we go?
I do want to give a big shout out to the families on here. I see Namaste, I see MSL in there. I saw Base, I saw Teed up here. I always shout out to all you guys in here for coming through and supporting me and everything like that and being here for me. I also want to say, I don't want to spoil the beans, but Friday, the rundown at 3, you could see this man right here with that badge next to his name. And that's all I'm saying.
I don't know how someone could possibly know that. It would be a surprise if it were true. If people find out live on Friday.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
And that's all I'm going to say.
That's what I was going to say. Well, make sure you hit the favorite button on DJ Bossy. He's there in the box. Thank you so much for being here. It was a ton of fun getting to catch up with you.
Likewise, man. Do appreciate it, yo. Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's DJ Bossy. He's in the box. He's our second guest this evening here on Suit Up. It's a weekly interview and talk style show where we go over all the things that are happening, changing, and trending here in the live community. Stick around because I will be doing a recap for Live Fest. We did that special edition rundown. I'm going to give a couple more updates about it in case you missed anything. I've also got some personal life stuff to update about. Really, really exciting things that are going to be going on. If you care about it or not, you can pretend to, whatever. If our third guest, Ace Marsh, will please request the box. Before we bring him to the box, I'd like to say thank you to you for being here. I'd also like to say thank you to Alien Eve, who has a birthday at the end of the month. I'd like to thank Namaste. I'd like to thank The Girl, Jen Ladiva, EU Smith, Alpha, Tee It Up, Real Deal, Nikki Nix, and NorCal. Thank you all very, very much for coming here and supporting the stream, hanging out. It's a ton of fun, and this is possible because of you. So on that note, bringing our third guest to the box, he is an ace. He is a Marsh. He is an Ace Marsh. Coming to the box, Ace Marsh, our third guest this evening, Mr. Ace Marsh.
Hello, how's it going? How's it going? It's going great. Thanks for having me. First of all, thanks for everyone that's here. Appreciate y'all. I see all the shout outs. I don't miss a thing, so I appreciate everyone. Chris, thanks for having me, man.
Santa Claus. You just see everything that's happening. Perfect.
That's it.
And the get up. You, Bossy, Miss E. Smith, all coming in full get up today. Appreciate that.
Always.
It's good. Now, as far as the hat goes, were you a fedora rocking type individual in high school?
I mean, I wasn't. I'm gonna be real with you. The real truth is I'm receding. That hair's starting to go back, you know what I'm saying? So we always have a hat on my stream, okay? I ain't scared to show it. I ain't scared to admit it. But there's a reason that I rock a hat even when I'm wearing a suit. So I am a little, a little taken back with the hairline going with my age. So that's kind of a thing that I like to protect. So this is my last grow out, guys. This is my last grow out before I, maybe either go to Turkey and get some surgery done or I, do the zip, right? So
I feel like you can rock the look though. You could rock the look of either the buzz you have a nicely shaped head. You know, it'd be a different story if you had the unfortunate kind of shaped kind, but for you, you have the kind that can rock the shaved head. So
Right.
that's okay.
We'll see how it goes. Anyways, for now, this is the look. You know, there's always a hat on, whether it's a toque, a cap, or a fedora.
Have you heard of the term hat fishing before?
Hat fishing.
Have you heard of hat fishing?
I have, and that's why I always admit it. Take the hat off, show everyone my hairline. This is like, you know, I am not a hatfish. It is just, I am hiding it for my own personal reasons. Okay.
You're like, "Milady, I have something." Hit him with the "milady," and you're good. You're good. Okay. All right. So that personal thing aside, you do seem to be taking in good spirit, and I don't think it necessarily is something that has to be a negative. It's just part of some aspects of life, and you again seem to like a glass half full type individual. Would you say that's accurate?
You know what? I always had a little saying. I don't look at the glass half full or half empty. I always looked at it as if there's water in it, we're doing something right. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. At least there's something in your cup. There's something to be
There's something in your cup. You know what I mean? So if there's something in the cup, you still have a chance, right?
Right. There is not much left in my cup. But
We got a full bottle.
I'll take that chance. Going back to just you, I did mention high school, things like that, but how would you describe yourself as a person prior to streaming all that? Is this fall in line with your interest, or is this really out of left field?
It really was out of left field. So I'll give you my story. I mean, growing up, I was an only child, never had brothers or sisters, wasn't the spoiled kid. I had great parents, but strict in a sense. They kept me in line. Like, you earn what you want. If you want to buy something, you buy it yourself, work for it, kind of thing. So I was taught principle from a very young age. As I got older, I got engaged. I was with my ex-fiance for 8 years. I was actually getting married a year and a half ago before I found this app. We separated just before the wedding. Kind of went into a little bit of a dark place for a bit there. As you can imagine, it's a tough change in your life, especially as I was 30 years old too. It was just a big hit. And as I kind of worked through that, I found this app to start socializing with the female species again. And as I kind of found the app, I jumped onto the live side one day, and the next day I went live, and I've been live ever since. I just hit my 1 year last weekend, officially 1 year. I've accomplished all the goals I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to apply for my top badge on here in my first year, and I've just done so. My show's getting featured if you ever respond to me, but no, I'm just kidding. No, I was working with Zach for a while there. I know he's switching me over to you, so we're getting that going. I'm just teasing Chris, but there's that happening. I got a couple other events that I put on, and
I don't know what happened. That's so weird. It's like I guess we'll never know if his show's getting featured or not. There's some weird technical difficulties. It's just the craziest thing. Ace Mars, go ahead and please request the box. I'm just giving you a hard time. For those of you who don't know, while he's coming back to the box, Zach is no longer with us. Zach is no longer part of the program. He's still with the company. Dude, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know, that was great. No, that was good. I deserved it. I deserved it. It was instant karma. Instant karma, guys. Don't talk bad to the director, okay?
Totally fine. That means I like you. If I do something like that, it means I like you. It means
That's perfect. Awesome.
Yes. But going back to it, you said something that caught my attention, and it's definitely sensitive. I want to operate within your comfortability.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that you were engaged for 8 years.
Yes.
That's a long engagement. What was it? Just not the right time? What do you think was going on there?
You know what? It wasn't that it wasn't the right time. We were just too comfortable with being acceptable of each other wanting different lives. And when you get to finding that point where it was a month before our wedding, it was all planned, everything. When we both realized, like, dang, we live different lives. Like, we aren't the same. We aren't looking for the same trajectory here. And we mutually agreed to just go our separate ways. Is that still easy? No. And like, I would never talk badly about her or her family. It almost made it harder. I wish she cheated on me. Like, it would have been a lot easier. It would have been a clean slate. But you know what I'm saying? So it was all for the best. It actually helped me find streaming. This has become an absolute full-time passion of mine. I do this majority of the day, every day. I do some side work as well. I come from being a director of sales and business. So, marketing, business, putting yourself out there, selling yourself, selling a platform, selling, a brand. That's my background. So this is definitely something that's up my alley. The Top Badge journey kind of came halfway through the last year, where I really noticed that, I've got some traction on here. People enjoy my vibe. They enjoy the positivity around me, and they're pushing me to do better on here. And my big thing is bringing
I'm gonna
people.
slow you down just a sec, because there's like, you're laying like a ton of good.
Oh, I run it, Chris. I got the
You're
energy.
good. No, you're good. You got a lot of information. I'm gonna break it down. Way back to the relationship thing, and I'll get off that part.
All right.
You said that you said an interesting thing, that it sounds like it happened amicably, but because it happened in a civil way, it almost hurts, because it leaves so much what if. And if you had something bad happen, like a cheating situation, something like that, it becomes more definitive. Just one tidbit to throw out there. It's something my mom told me a long time ago that I've applied in my life, and maybe it'll help you too, which is that you were originally with that person for a reason. And why do each of you the disservice and the hardship of taking someone that you care about and losing that version of them? I'm paraphrasing a version of what she said, but I have made the mistake in the past of making the person the enemy, or finding reasons to not like them to make it easier, when in fact they weren't deserving of it. I was just looking for a way to make it easier. So I'm happy that you didn't have that experience, because I can tell you on the other side, it feels pretty crappy knowing that you intentionally or subconsciously made it a difficult situation for the other person. So anyway, going forward, you said that you're director of sales and you do sales. So are you still doing sales?
So I just do some consulting on the side. I also have a graphic design background. So yeah, I was a director of sale of a Fortune 500 publicly traded company. I was running a team of 60 sales reps. I was managing sales across North America. And then before that, I also did some global sales for a smaller company. But I was selling contracting service work. So it was some big jobs. It was a lot of fun. I learned a heck of stuff during my career in the sales world. Am I going to go back to that? Yeah, I think I will one day. I have ran 3 businesses. I've sold off 2 of them. 1 of them failed. 2 of them were successful. I still actually hold my business title to this day and keep my business as a functioning business in the background. So, I'm always willing to help people out. My big journey when it comes to the sales thing is being a leader, not a boss. And I'm all about bringing people up with me, coaching, training, giving people knowledge so they can do better and not make mistakes that I've gone through.
As someone who is a fellow salesperson, formerly at least, it does take a certain personality to enjoy it. It's one thing to do it, but are you someone who gets a thrill out of the cold call? Do you like the challenge of the sale?
I'm a competitive man. I'm a Capricorn. They like to attach a Capricorn as an alpha individual. So we definitely get a thrill out of that. If I can be number 1 in sales, and if there's a way for me to strive to the top, and there's a chance I can sell it, I'm going to sell it. So, cold calling is the initial way that anyone learns how to sell. And you got to start there. If you can't cold call, you can't sell out in the person, you can't close the deal. So cold calling. Yeah. I used to love getting a thrill out of that. That was the easy stuff. You know what I mean?
I will never claim that cold calling was easy. I learned to appreciate it.
Not on the emotional side, but it was easy to do for the job itself. But yeah, the cold shoulders are not easy that you get turned on, for sure.
I think the world, if people had to either work in the service industry, like being in retail, or a server or bartender, or being in cold calls, things like that, I think the world would be a very different place. I think empathy would be a little more common, because you learn a lot in those roles. A lot.
You get a lot of no's. You get a lot of no's, basically. Yeah. You get told no a lot.
Yeah, well, no is there's a book called Never Split the Difference. I'm not going to get into it, but no is an interesting thing when it comes to sales. But I'm not going to get into that. Most people here don't want to know about the ins and outs and guts of sales. But for you, career-wise, you've hinted at it's been part of what you've done. Where do you want to go in terms of your aspirations? Is it in media, like with streaming, or you said you are that competitive person? What's the Ace Mars trajectory?
So yeah, I'm a guy that used to set big goals, and sometimes they were unattainable. And not that anything's unattainable, but they were a little out there too soon. So I've really recollected myself over the years as I've gained some more knowledge as I've got older, and I've listened to people and my peers and my role models and things like that. So I've started creating small goals for myself, and I kind of inch by inch it and take it each day at a time. Right now, my main goal, next on the list is to acquire that top badge. And to create a positive platform for people to come and have a place to feel comfortable, all are welcome, place to come and talk, have support, and also have some fun and laughs. We like to get wild. Obviously, I'm a high energy person. That's where my emojis come from, the electric bolts and the power plug. It's that big energy vibe, I think that kind of comes with the sales side as well. You got to have that, people skill. You got to be able to attract a crowd and hold a crowd. And for me, being a top badge on here, it's not just about being a top badge. It's about being a leader and being someone can come to and know that they can get knowledge from, and you can help some of the newer streamers on this platform and kind of bring good to the app.
It falls in line too with every bit of your personality that you've described.
Yeah.
Streaming and being a top badge is arguably one of the pedestals that people can hope to achieve, and contests are rolled into that, and placement. I mean, there's every bit. I think someone who is interested in that type of competitive aspect does love this stuff innately. In making it a community, that's the important part too. Is it's not just about the metrics. The metrics come from people, and if you treat people like metrics, then you're not going to have people. So it all folds together. In terms of what you do off the platform these days, though, same question that I've asked each of the other guests. Do you have a hobby? Something people wouldn't expect? Something, a passion? Anything like that?
I mean, I do. So it's changed a lot as I've become a streamer, because I do spend a lot of time on here. But my passion is, I'm actually, someone might not know this, I'm a sponsored fisherman. So I've actually fished on TV with Bob Azumi. I've been in tournaments. I've won tournaments. I've got sponsorships and everything. So I actually have a whole Instagram page. If you go to my Instagram that's attached here in my bio, you can find my fishing page. So I am a freshwater fisherman. I'm from Canada. So I'm a Canadian surrounded by the Great Lakes of freshwater fishing. And, it's really become a passion of mine. I love getting in the outdoors, kind of stepping away from reality, so to say, the social world. And I have a dog as well, who's my best friend. He got me through my breakup, and, he's my homie. And, he's my little fishing buddy. Is he loud? Absolutely. Is he annoying? Absolutely. But he's my bestie. And, going out catching a big salmon or a trout that's just my passion. So that's what I do all the time.
When did you start fishing? Was this a thing you did your entire life?
I started fishing as a wee individual with my father. He brought me out. That was a thing we did. My family's from the east coast of Canada. They grew up on the water, and they were very poor. They made something out of our family as they kind of moved to Ontario, Canada. But, growing up there and being a part of like the bush, you know what I'm saying? Like out in the boonies, hunting and fishing, that's what we did for our food. And that's what we did to get by. You know what I mean? My mom grew up in a tar paper shack. So that was part of our lifestyle growing up.
Wow. And fishing, it is something that you can do your entire life, but you turned it into something competitive. I mean, it fits with your personality, everything that you've described. What is the difference between a competitive professional fisherman and a non-professional?
So I would be considered a non-professional right now, because I'm not actively in tournaments and trying to place and make money. So I think a difference would be like a sponsored fisherman, a hobby fisherman, or a professional fisherman. A professional fisherman is the guy out there. That's his career. That's his job. A hobby fisherman is someone that just likes to crack a can of beer and go toss a line in the water. And then there is a sponsored fisherman, is someone like myself who, take it very strong, passionate. I am competitive, but it's just something that I truly love to do. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it just because I want to succeed at it. And I really get a thrill out of catching a fish. It's that adrenaline that it gets pumping.
I do mean that question in a literal sense, though, in that, is it just because when I think about fishing, please forgive my ignorance here, I think it's a bit luck-based. It's knowledge-based and skill-based in that you'd need to know the landscape, the geography of what the water is, and seasons and spawning, and you could get into the details of it. But it can't be luck based as a professional or someone who's sponsored. So where's this, I guess, the skill element of fishing?
So the skill element, like the difference between a good fisherman and a bad fisherman is on a day that you're not going to catch fish, you're not going to see a good fisherman out there. If that makes any sense. So, when you always hear about people going, oh man, I've been fishing that hole for years. I can never catch anything. And then that one guy can show up and he does his first cast and he catches something. That's the difference. It's like, it comes with experience. Fishing is not something you're going to be good at right away. And I'm going to promise you that. It's like, it's a challenging thing. Your rod gets it's annoying. I'm gonna be honest, even as a guy that knows what he's doing, it gets annoying, especially when you're out there and you toss in a line, you get tangled up or you hook into something, you snap it is frustrating. And then landing a fish even more is even tougher. I mean, it depends on what you're out there.
Setting the hook and knowing how to reel in. Like
there is technique, there is
challenge.
Yeah. Now there's certain kind of fish that are considered sport fish and then that are not considered sport fish. So if you're going for sport fish, they are tougher to catch. There's seasons for them. Knowing the rules and regulations is important when it comes to fishing. It's just like being a top badge on here. I can actually relate it because knowing the terms and conditions is important because you have to be abiding by the rules. Well, when you're out there in the environment, you have to protect Mother Nature, and that's part of the responsibility as a fisherman. So you withhold that responsibility.
I do have a respect for anyone who's passionate about something. I mean, it's infectious. Like, I'm very interested in what you're saying, even though my fishing experience is limited. I used to fish. I think one of the coolest or weirdest experiences I've had is I was fishing off of the coast of Ocean City, Maryland, or was in Maryland, and we were flounder fishing, and we reeled up something, and it was hideous. Like, we're like, what is this?
Flounders are pretty hideous.
But it wasn't a flounder. We hear across the boat the charter captain go, "Don't touch that! Don't touch that!" And he's zooming over. He was helping unhook someone's fish, and he's like, "That will crush your fist." And it was something called an oyster crusher.
Oh,
and I guess what they do is they scoop up clams and oysters, and they crush them in their jaws. It's like, if you would have put your hand in there, you probably would have crushed your fist. So yeah, that's about my fishing experience.
I mean, that's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. So that's a good story. There's always one thing I will say, Chris, and for everyone in here, never believe a fisherman's tale. Never believe a fisherman's story. If they say it's this big, it's this big. Okay, that's the truth. I'm just telling you.
I got to show you that part of the story was true, though. The captain really did say, "Do not unhook that." But for you, it's funny. It's ironic that you say that. For you, what is the biggest fish that you've ever caught?
Well, I've never, crazy enough, it's not worked out in my favor. I've never been able to go deep sea fishing. It's always been on my bucket list. I've had it planned on multiple vacations, and the weather's just not worked out in 4 different countries. It's never worked. So my day will come. So I've only ever fished freshwater fishing. That I've like gone out and actually tried to catch fish. So I caught a salmon that was 42 pounds out of a river. Yeah, so that's a Chinook salmon at 42 pounds, and it took me 1 hour and 12 minutes to land it.
Wow. And you probably get exhausted doing it.
These things are beasts. They are beasts. Like, it was crazy. And the type of fishing I do, it has no drag on the reel. So if you let go, it just goes zzz, and it's done. You're done. So I use a special kind of fishing reel. It's called a center pin. So it's a dragless reel. So it's you versus fish. Your hand actually controls how much the fish takes.
Wow.
So yeah.
And that's what you do competitively. So everyone would have to have the same type of reel and system.
I mean, you don't have to, but it's beneficial to have it. Yeah, there is a benefit to it.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I have very limited fishing knowledge outside of having my hand held on charters and bass fishing at the Great Lakes and stuff like that.
Still fun though. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself, right?
Right. I mean, I'm from Michigan, so fishing is very common. Like, we're your neighbor. So yeah, totally understood. Ace Marsh, I'm looking at the clock. I guess I got caught up in the fish conversation.
No problem.
Number one, if you have not, make sure you're hitting the favorite button on him. He's there in the box, making that run for top badge. Great influence in the community. High energy. It's in the emoji. Is there anything that you'd like to plug, share, upcoming events that you've got before we go?
Sure. So we got our feature approved show we're working on. And I'll be back working with yourself, Chris. It's called Heart Rate with Ace Marsh. Myself, every Friday from 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after the rundown. It's an adrenaline-based show where we have 2 featured guests come on. and one random guest, and we talk about near-death experiences, wild, crazy adventures, anything adrenaline or heart racing situations that we talk about. It's all about fun. It's just a talk show, so feel free to come through. I run a fade party directly after that every single Friday from 5 p.m. till 1 a.m. in the morning. We have 4 back-to-back 2-hour sessions of DJs. Top badge DJ Vinny Vin. We have DJ Yaboy. We have DJ Starboy and DJ Pikachu. So we have a wicked lineup. So come through for some faves, have some fun, box up. It's just a good time every Friday. I started something new a couple weeks back. It's called Streaming 101. It's every Thursday, 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. And that is where I teach new streamers the tricks and the trades of becoming a streamer and how to use the app and just, help them have knowledge that they might not learn as they're starting out on the streaming platform. So, because I know it was tough when I started out. Lastly, I've got 2 auctions this weekend because I am horrible at booking myself. So I don't pay attention when people ask me, but I don't usually do that. But anyways, we got an auction tomorrow, Friday, which is Dria's Zodiac auction. And then we have Top Edge Jill with a G's auction on Saturday. So it's all on my IG. I post everything. If you guys want stuff posted, feel free to send it. I'll always share and help the community out.
Consistent, staying busy. He's got the get up. He is a positive influence on the platform. All great things, all worthy of your favorite. So make sure you're hitting the favorite button on Ace Marsh. He's right there. Cheers, dude. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
Chris. Appreciate you, man.
And look forward to his featured show coming out. Because Zach approved it. I got to check my email. All right, well, I'm going to do it. This is suited up. Well, it was anyway. I'd like to thank you for being here. And I'd like to thank these top guests as well. And we've got the after show. We got things to cover. I'm going to get into a little more depth with the playlist. I actually talk with the comments now. I know it's very rare to see me interact. I'm like an NPC. I'm like that, ice cream. Da. What's the thing? What was the meme? I don't know how it goes. All I remember was ice cream. All right, the point is, thank you for being here. Next up, it's still suited up, so I'll keep this background for now. In 10th place, we have Alien Eve. Thank you so much for all your support. The Girl. We have Lolita, Ace Marsh, Tia.